Hello. So today we're going to show you how to make a hummingbird heater. So for you folks that live in colder climates, and sometimes when it's going to freeze overnight, this will help you keep your hummingbirds coming back during the winter time. That way you don't have to bring it in at night whenever it's going to freeze. So make a couple of these here. You give them away to some people, some friends of mine. First thing I do is I grab some 4-inch pots. These here are plastic ones. I've done them with the ceramic pots and stuff as well. They're just kind of a pain sometimes to drill through, but using the plastic ones here, they're fairly cheap. Right. What I'm doing is I set these down to where this is the bottom of one of my hummingbird feeders, and I make a small mark right here. I don't know if you can see that. You'll see it right there. Where I'm going to put a drill point and drill a hole there, and that's where these hooks will come into play, because it'll hang underneath the hummingbird feeder itself. And the idea is to have the light bulb inside of this on during the night. It's a 15-watt incandescent bulb, so make sure you use pretty much nothing more than 15 watt. It'll probably melt the bird feeder from underneath. Most of them are plastic that I know of. I also have this here is an E17 base. It's a little bigger. It's called a medium base. It's bigger than the candelabra base. That's what these bulbs here are for a T7. And what I'm going to do is I'll drill a hole into the center of this here, pop this down in. I usually rivet these here in, or else I'll drill it, run some screws from the bottom and just secure it that way. So I've made my marks on this here, so I'll grab my little drill. Super simple. Obviously watch you don't drill in your finger. Okay. Then put one right into the middle of the bottom. Okay. It's mainly going to be for the wires to come out. And I don't know if that bit's going to be big enough, so I'll just throw a little bit of a bigger hole on it. Yeah, that should be plenty. Alright, can actually take these off now. And I'll snake the wires through here so they come out the bottom. Here's the first one. See if I can get that second one through without having to go with a bigger hole. No, I'm going to just put them both together like this. And it'll come through just like that. Now these are a little bit further apart, so I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Here, since these are both like this, I'm going to adapt it a little bit differently. I'm going to actually make another hole with the bit. For the wires to come through. It's okay if you have an extra hole under there. It's not a big thing. This thing isn't holding water or anything like that. It's mainly to keep the socket in place. Let's just do it this way. So this way it'll sit flatter inside this brace. All right. So I'm going to snake both of those in just like this. All right. And move it around a little just to get it about right. Should be about, you can see that. Okay. And I can see that they're right across the holes right here. So if I really want to, like I said, I'm gonna get a rivet set up for this here because I think I want to rivet it and think it looks nicer.
Back.
So made a couple marks there where my holes are going to go. You know, you can see those okay. And so I'm not going to damage any of the wires. Pull these here out. So I put a 3/16 bit on here, and I'm just going to run a hole where that bracket is underneath. So there's one and there's the other one. I'll go ahead and throw my screw or my wires back in. Okay. Okay, wires are back in. Holes are there. Set to go. And I'm using a little bit thicker rivet on these here than a standard 1/8. But hopefully you guys know how to use a rivet gun or rivet tool. It's a little pudgier than usual. Let's see if I can get this one down inside of it without having to hone it out too much. Okay. The idea actually with the rivet, right, is to smash the head of it while you're pulling. So what this thing will do, and I'll show you how it works. It eventually gets to a point where it just snaps it off. Like that. Okay. See how it riveted on there? So you gotta smash that bracket in there. We're still lined up on my other hole there. So open this up. Pin should fall out. The rest of it's like a little nail. Load it back in. Make sure it gets a little bit of a seat to it. All it is a gripper that grips the metal part of the pin. Push it in there. Verify that it's through the right one. All right. There we go. That socket's in there. It's not going anywhere. Looks good. Looks better than a lot of the screws and stuff that I used to use. So, oh shoot, I need to get my plug for this here once I can show you guys how to wire this one in too. So I will be right back with a plug. Okay, I'm back here. So picked up a little plug that I have. You see that okay? It's just a 2-prong plug. It really doesn't need to be polarized with the ground on it. It's not that powerful. It's not really something to worry about. These are super simple to do. Get my cutters. And I'll snip the ends over here. Since we're not soldering this or anything else like that, super easy to do. Take the base, run both wires through the base. Okay. Then you take each wire and you gotta stick it in here. There's only enough room for 2 wires. Anyway, so you're not gonna hurt anything. All right. And what happens here is that little pin there. You can see that little pin. When I push that in, it's gonna lock into the wire. It's basically gonna poke into the wire through the insulation. So once you do that, you only have room for one on each side. Then you put it all back together, pushing it together like this. There we go. All right, so you got a little plug there. Let's test it out. Throw a light bulb in it. There we go. All right. Not too hot. It's 15 watts. I'll actually attach it to the Hummingbird feeder next and hang it with the hooks, and I'll show you guys this thing in action. Put the base on, the heater itself. You can tell I put the hooks on. I kind of tighten up the hooks a little bit inside of the heater itself, but this thing's on. It'll just put up just enough a little bit of heat that it'll keep the water here that's inside the cylinder from freezing overnight. I have seen hummingbirds actually sit, on this here thing and just not even drinking, just sitting there enjoying the heat too. So I haven't seen them on this here part yet. But yeah, so that's how I make a hummingbird heater for the cold nights and keep our hummingbird friends around a little bit longer until the weather changes. So hope you enjoyed it. Get questions, let me know. Till then, next time, bye.